This is going to be a gentle Pilates sequence. The only thing you need is either a small towel folded up or a flattish cushion just as a little head support, otherwise you don't need anything. Before we start, just remember that if any exercises don't feel good, just leave them out. Okay, take care of yourselves, try and enjoy it. Okay, so we're going to lie down on our backs. Just use your arms to support yourself to lie down. Bring the small head support or towel under your head. You want to check that your neck is in a comfortable place when you're lying down. Watch for the chin tipping back. If you're a little tight in the upper back, you might feel that wants to happen. Try to get a little more length in the neck and nice relaxed shoulders. Place the feet. We're going to start just putting our hands on our abdomen, just one low and one high, and just doing some calm breathing. So when you're ready, just nice and calm, breathing in and breathing out. Allow the abdomen to move as you breathe. Try and breathe through your nose if you can. And just imagine you're breathing a little lower and deeper. Now on the next inhale, just take a nice full inhalation. And as you exhale, I want you to very gently draw your low abdominals in and up. You should feel under that bottom hand a little more tone in your abdominal muscles. Take a breath in again. And one more time, on the exhalation, gently draw your low tummy muscles in a little bit more deeply. Good. Now just allow your arms to relax at your sides, chest relaxed open. Take a couple more breaths and try to feel those low tummy muscles just gently hugging you like a little corset around your lower torso. We're going to start with some knee folds. So take a breath in, and as you do your exhale, find that low abdominal tone, and then just float one leg up to tabletop. We're going to lower and lift this leg, so allow the foot to go down, and then floating it back up. Good. Inhale, let the toe tap, and exhale as you bring it back up. Let's go two more with this leg. As you're moving, we're trying to just hinge in our hip joints and keep a nice stable pelvis and lower back. So we don't want any wobbling around in the lower spine as we do this. Let's place that foot down. Before you pick up the other leg, just try and find that gentle drawing in the lower abdominals again and float up your second leg. Knee over hip. And again, we're going to let the foot go down and then float it back up. The breath for this is to inhale as you tap and exhale as you return. Don't get in a pickle if you get confused though. Mostly just try and stay tall in your spine and try and feel those deep tummy muscles. Let's do one more with this leg and then float it up. Very good. Place that foot down. We're going to reach our arms up to the ceiling, nice and straight wrists and elbows. And then as you stretch your arms up, let the shoulder blades slide apart. And then let them just gently relax back down. And again, shrug the shoulders up. And relax them back down. Let's go two more times. And as you're moving your shoulders, think of your spine being nice and tall. From the crown of your head to your tail, you're trying to create a nice feeling of length throughout your back. And then relax on down. Good. Now we're just going to scissor our arms, one back over the head, one down to the hips, and then switch around and scissor back. Good. So we're just warming up our shoulders. Keep the arms straight and just go as far back as you feel your shoulder feels good. We're trying to stay nice and tall through the spine throughout. Let's go one more time. And then bring the arms back up to the top. We're going to open to the side and close. So take a lovely breath in and stretch wide. Imagine you're trying to touch the sides of the room. And then press back as if you're pushing through treacle and there's a bit of resistance in the air. And again, inhale, lovely big breath in and stretch wide. And exhale, imagine there's that treacle, you're pushing through some resistance. One more time. Inhale, stretch open the chest, nice long necks. And then exhale to press back. Good. Now we're going to bring our hands behind our head, interlacing our fingers. Elbows slightly lifted in your peripheral vision. Now, just before we lift up into our chest lift, think about that nice stable pelvis. So a little bit of low abdominals drawing in. And you can feel the center back of your hips. Your pelvis is level, your tail is slightly down. And as we curl the chest up, we're trying to maintain that stable pelvis. And then lowering it back down. And again, exhale as you curl the chest up. And then lengthen it back down. You want to feel as if you're carrying your head in your hands rather than pulling on your neck. So we shouldn't feel any straining in our neck at all, but you should notice a little bit of shakiness in your abdominal muscles. Let's go one more time. Curl the chest up, and then lengthen the spine down. Lovely. Now we're going to hug our right leg into our chest, grab onto your shin and gently pull the thigh in. Circle the ankle a couple of times, nice big ankle circles, and then we'll go the other way. Good. Now if you changed your hands so they're just behind your knee, keep the back of the pelvis, back of that right hip really down on the ground, and then straighten and bend your knee. Don't worry if the leg doesn't fully straighten. For most people it won't be able to straighten fully in this stretch. What you want to try and do is keep the back of the hip down, and you'll get a nice stretch here in the back of the leg. Let's go one more time. Good, now keep the leg semi-straight and just see if you can flex point a couple of times. And you'll feel that in the calf and back of the leg. Good, lovely. Bring that foot down and let's hug in our left leg. So we're going to pull the shin in, circle the ankle on its own a few times each way. As big a circle as you can make. Let's go the other way. Good, now hold the hands behind your knee and again really anchor the back of that left hip down so you really feel that your buttocks are down on the floor, okay? And then when you straighten and bend your knee, it probably won't fully straighten, but you should be getting that stretch in the back of the leg. Good, let's go one more time. Now keep that stretch position. Now just flex and point the ankle. A couple more times, just getting that nice stretch through our calf muscle. Good, and then place the foot down. We're going to roll onto our side. And when you're lying on your side, you can use your towel or you can lie with your head on your arm. I'm going to lie with my head on my arm. My shoulders feel happy doing that. We can do the clam. Remember, in our clam, we want to watch that we're not tucked under in the lower back in this exercise. So if you place your hand in your lower back, you should feel there's a very gentle, natural curve. You've got natural curvature in your spine. We're going to put our hand on the pelvis to check we keep stable. Reach the hip out a little bit, almost as if you're creating a little mouse hole on your underside. And then when we move our knee open, close, we're working a little bit in our hip strength, but we're also keeping our spine and our torso stable, which will help us strengthen up. That's it. Let's hold open the next one. Pause. Press your heels firm into each other and then just do some small pulses. You should be finding when you do that strong heel squeeze in, it helps you feel that work in the back of the hip. Good. Close the knee. Now one more leg strength on this side. We're going to reach our leg out long, Flex the foot, send your heel away from you, but keep trying to lift up in your underside. So there's a nice length in both sides of the waist, and we're going to just lower and lift that leg. Now, if your hand is still on your pelvis, we should be feeling no movement in our pelvis. So it's just that hip moving, and you'll feel the side of the hip in this one. Let's go one more time. And then relax that leg down. We're going to move into our book openings. For this, you could have your head on the little rolled up towel, most likely, or a small pillow. Bring the two arms out in front of you, palm onto palm. And the first thing we're going to do is slide our hand forward. So slide the top hand forward as far as you can. Let your shoulders slide with it so you feel that stretch across the upper mid-back. And then returning back to palm. A couple of times, reach and slide forward. And then return back hand to hand. Good, last time, reach and slide. And return back. Now keep yourself in this position. And we're going to lift our top arm, look up to the ceiling, follow the hand with your gaze, and then open the chest and let your spine rotate. Look a little bit back, and then bring yourself back around. That's it, a couple more times. This is a rotational movement in our spine. You should be feeling that around the mid-back area. Lower body stays pretty still. Last one. And then return back. Good, we're going to change sides, you can roll over. I'm going to change ends since I can stay facing the camera then. Okay, so we're coming down to line our arm for the first few. So for our clam, knees are bent, we're just going to check we're not tucking under with our tail. Natural lower back curve, hand on the pelvis. Now we'll reach the top hip out, find that little bit of lift up. And when we're ready, we're going to open our knee and close. So we're just isolating the hip, the leg movement, keeping our pelvis still. That's it. If you do that little heels press together, you'll find that helps add a little more intensity. Good, now keep the knee open, keep pressing the heels and do some small pulses. So just tiny ones, out, out, out. Opened, last one, and close on down. Good, reach the top leg long, reach up, keep finding that underside lift, keep reaching the heel away from you. We're going to lower and lift the leg now. Keep sending your foot away from you as you lift and lower. That's it, we should be feeling the side of the leg and hip here working quite hard. Let's go 2 more times. Good, bend the knee, place the hip leg back. We're going to go into our book opening, so readjust your head support if necessary. Make sure your neck does not feel any strain. Hand over on top of hand, long arms. We're going to slide that arm forward, find that shoulder slide a little forward, and then return that arm back. And again, slide out, and then return back. One more time, reach, stretch across the floor, and then bring it back, good. And then book opening, we're going to look up to the ceiling, open the chest towards the sky, and then return yourself back. And again, open out, stretch wide, and then return back. One final time. And all the way back. Good, we're going to roll onto our front, so just wherever you are, roll over. I'm going to move my towel out of the way. Placing my hands palm to palm and head on the hands. Just take a couple of breaths. Now just try to feel a little bit of lift in your abdominals here so that we support our lower back. We shouldn't feel any discomfort in the lower back and when we do the next 2 exercises. So keep the abdominals lifted and try and keep your pelvis flat, stable on the mat underneath you. We're going to start with lifting our legs one at a time. So keep that lifted up tummy muscles and just try and lift up one leg a little bit off the ground and then lower it down. Alternate legs. What we should notice is the lower back doesn't change, it stays stable and the muscles are not gripped. And what we should be hopefully feeling is the muscles in the back of the leg and the buttocks slightly kicking in. Okay, so we want to feel that back hip essentially. Let's go one more time each side. Good, now let the legs relax, float your head up a little bit, stay looking at your fingers, allow the shoulders to relax down. Imagine you're trying to make more space between your shoulder blades and your earlobes. Shoot the crown of the head forward. Now keep that lifted up abdominals, that's really important in this one. Grow really as tall as possible and then just start to gently look a little bit forward and lift your upper spine. Keep trying to feel really tall and then all the way back down to level. Repeat a few times. What we should be feeling hopefully our upper mid back and definitely not our lower back. So keep those tummy muscles lifted up, keep the pelvis level. And all the way down. We'll do it 2 more times. Grow really tall, look a little forward, and then all the way back down. Final time. And all the way down. Good. We're going to use our hands and sit back in a rest position. So when you're ready, push back. If you have any knee discomfort, do not force this position, but if you have healthy knees, you want to try and sit your hips back towards your feet, round your spine, take some deep breaths here. Imagine you're expanding your rib cage as you breathe in, allowing the mid back to stretch as you take your deep breath. Let's do one more time. Good. Let's bring ourselves onto our hands and knees and we'll do some cat stretches. So we want our knees slightly apart under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. Start with a nice tall spine, and when you're ready you're going to curl the tail round the back, look down towards your knees, and then come back to a flat spine, and then gently glance forward, let the shoulders pull back and open the chest as you look forward. Good, and again, round the spine, lift the abdominals, come through center, and a little arch in the upper back as we open our chest in front of us. One more time, round the spine, and then little tiny arch through the back. Good, now we're going to come to lying down, so bring yourself back to sitting. You might need to get our small head supports again. Organise yourself, support yourself as you lie down if necessary. Good, check your neck alignment again. Take a couple of breaths again, lying on your back. We're going to do some pelvic tilts. So we're trying to just stretch our lower back in our tilts and feel our deep abdominals here. So relax the shoulders and arms, and as you breathe out, deepen your lower abdominals and then allow the pelvis to just tip. And then return back. A couple more times. Try and breathe out as you deepen your lower abdominals, allow the pelvis to tilt, and return back. A couple of things to remember: we don't want to squeeze and clench our buttocks in this exercise. Try and feel it's coming more from the front of the body, those deep tummy muscles, pelvic floor muscles, lifting in and up. Imagine like a jellyfish lifting up in your core. And then returning down. Let's go one more time. Little pelvic tilt. And then return back. Now we're going to curl up through the spine a little bit higher this time. So start with your tilt. Press into your feet and start to curl up through your back. Each vertebra one by one. Up. Stand into your feet and reach through the knees. And then roll the spine down. Try and grow tall, keep that neck nice and long. All the way down. And again, we're going to tilt the pelvis and curl up. Stand into our feet, reach through the knees, and then lower the spine down. Good, one more time. Start with that deepening our tummy pelvic tilt, roll up. Good, now stay here for a few breaths this time and try and really imagine you're standing into your feet. You're pressing a little down into the ground through the feet and reaching the knees a little bit forward. See if you can rotate your pubic bone a little more up to the ceiling. Keep pressing into the feet. You should feel your back hip muscles again, getting a lot of strengthening work here. And then gently roll down through your back. Good. Once your tail is down, we're going to go into our figure of four hip stretch. So cross one ankle over the opposite knee. Gently press the leg out to the side. Just take a little breath there. And then swap, that one's going to come down, the other one's going to go across, and you want to just gently press out to the side. And then bring it down. We're going to come up to sitting. So roll to the side, use your hands to help you up. And we'll just do a little hip stretch here, soles of feet together, knees apart. Let your back round, take a couple of moments there. And then sit yourself up. Great, well done. That was the short sequence. We've done it.